There are some objects in this world that defy all logic, things that shouldn't exist but do, lurking in the shadows of our reality. Tonight, you're about to meet one of them, a doll that doesn't just sit silently on a shelf, but might be watching, waiting, and whispering when no one is around. Do you believe that something as innocent as a doll could hold something far more sinister? By the end of this story, you just might. Our story begins like many others, simple, quiet, and unremarkable. Emily, a college student living in a small town, found herself in an old antique shop, browsing through forgotten relics of the past. Among the dusty shelves, she spotted a doll, an old porcelain-faced doll, its eyes unnervingly real, staring straight through her. Now, I know what you're thinking, who in their right mind buys a creepy doll from an antique shop? But hey, it was a gift for her little cousin, and besides, it had that vintage charm. What she didn't know was that this doll had a history, one that would soon pull her into a nightmare she couldn't escape. A few days later, Emily's cousin received the doll, and that's when the strange things began. At first, it was subtle whispers in the middle of the night, a cold draft from nowhere. The doll would be found in places no one remembered leaving it. It was easy to dismiss. It's just our imagination, they thought. But then, the doll spoke. In the dead of night, a single whisper broke the silence. "I'm watching you." At this point, Emily's cousin wasn't thrilled about that vintage charm anymore. From then on, the doll wouldn't stay quiet, and it seemed to be getting closer, more active every night. Emily, like many of us would, brushed it off. "It's just a dream, a coincidence," she told herself. After all, how could a doll be responsible for these strange occurrences? It's just in our heads, right? But the unknown doesn't go away when ignored. Soon, Emily would learn that some things demand attention, whether you believe in them or not. The doll's position began changing more drastically each night, from sitting on the shelf to standing at the foot of the bed. Look, when your doll starts moving on its own, something's not right. Am I wrong? Finally, after too many sleepless nights, Emily reached out to someone, an old family friend, who knew a bit about the occult. He listened carefully and gave her a warning she wasn't prepared for. This doll isn't just haunted, it's possessed. There's something inside it that wants out, and it wasn't going to stop until it had her. At this point, wouldn't you want to just burn the thing? Well, it's not that simple. Determined to rid herself of the doll, Emily tried everything, locking it away, throwing it out, even destroying it. But the doll always came back, untouched, always watching. It was as if the doll had claimed her. Now the whispers weren't just at night, they were inside her head. Realizing she couldn't outrun it, Emily prepared for her final confrontation. If the doll wanted her, she would face it. One night, the doll went silent. The air was thick with a presence far darker than anything Emily had felt before. She stood before the doll, staring into its glassy, lifeless eyes. Then, the doll spoke again, but this time it wasn't a whisper. "I'm inside you now." Emily collapsed, shaking uncontrollably. The possession wasn't just of the doll anymore, it had taken her. Emily's friend returned with a ritual, unsure if it would work. They had one chance to break the bond, one chance to save her before it was too late. The room was ice cold, the candles flickering, and the doll, it seemed to smirk. Then the lights went out. In the darkness, the doll's voice echoed louder than ever, "You can't escape me." In a desperate attempt, Emily's friend recited the final words of the ritual. The doll screeched, its porcelain face cracking as Emily fought back against the entity inside her. Would she win, or was this her end? Suddenly, with one last surge of willpower, Emily screamed, and the room fell silent. When the lights flickered back on, the doll lay shattered on the floor, lifeless once more. Emily gasped for air, alive, but at what cost? Some say the doll's spirit still lingers, waiting for someone new to claim. So if you ever find yourself in an old antique shop and a doll catches your eye, remember this story. Or, maybe just stick to plush toys. They don't tend to have quite the same personality. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay alert. You never know what might be watching you.